Lawrence Stroll has poured millions into his son Lance's underwhelming Formula One career. But is it paying off, or is it the sport's riskiest investment yet? With rumours of an Aramco buyout swirling and Aston Martin's future on the line, the pressure on the Stroll family is mounting. Is Lance's place on the grid truly driven by talent, or is his father's fortune keeping his F1 dream alive? What we'll uncover today goes far beyond just one driver. It's a story of power, privilege, and a gamble that could change the very landscape of Formula One. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll get an inside look not just at the business of F1, but at the family drama and high-stakes power plays behind this risky gamble. But the real question is, will Lance ever prove himself worthy of the fortune backing him? To understand why Lawrence Stroll's gamble on his son Lance is considered one of the riskiest in F1, we need to look back, way back, to where it all began. Like many F1 drivers, Lance started in karting, and more so than most, he had a powerful advantage: his father's deep pockets. From the start, Lance had the best equipment, top-tier coaching, and every opportunity that money could buy. But here's the twist: could this financial backing actually have hindered Lance's true potential? At just 10 years old, Lance was already competing in international championships. A year later, he secured a coveted spot in the Ferrari Driver Academy, a stepping stone for some of the greatest drivers in F1 history. But some insiders questioned, was this opportunity earned purely by talent, or was there another factor at play? Despite all his advantages, Lance was often overshadowed by peers like Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. Drivers praised for their raw, natural talent. Lance's results were solid, but there was always this lingering doubt. Was he truly standing on his own merit? And, as he climbed the ranks, a new question emerged: did his father's wealth accelerate his rise too fast for his abilities to catch up? Stay with me, because what happens next might surprise you. So what do you think? Did Lance's financial backing give him an unfair boost, or has his talent been enough to carry him this far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll revisit this question later when we dive into his F1 career. Lance Stroll's journey through Formula 3 was marked by undeniable privilege, but also undeniable results. With access to resources, technology, and coaching that few of his competitors could dream of, Lance was well equipped for success. Critics are quick to point out that his father's financial support played a significant role, but it's hard to ignore his 14 victories in a 30-race season. Was this a product of sheer talent, or was it the result of unparalleled backing? The debate still rages on. Fast forward to 2017. After dominating Formula 3 with Prema, Lance made an unprecedented leap straight into Formula 1, bypassing Formula 2 entirely, a route usually reserved for drivers of exceptional caliber like Max Verstappen or Kimi Raikkonen. But the question lingered: was Lance truly ready for the top tier of motorsport? Or was this move another chapter in a story driven more by money than merit? This is where Lawrence Stroll raised the stakes again. He invested a staggering $80 million into the financially struggling Williams team, a clear statement that he was all in on his son's F1 career. For Lawrence, this wasn't just a business decision, it was a father's commitment to ensuring his son had every chance to succeed. But here's where the story takes a turn. While the investment secured Lance's seat, it didn't quiet the critics. Was this a triumph for talent, or simply the power of wealth? The scrutiny intensified, with many questioning whether Lance could truly stand out in a field of the world's best drivers. And then came Azerbaijan. In his rookie season, Lance shocked many with a remarkable podium finish, becoming the youngest rookie to stand on the podium since 2008. For some, this was a breakthrough moment that validated his place in Formula One, but for others, the success came with a caveat. Was this a flash of brilliance, or just another product of a multi-million-dollar investment? One thing was certain: Lawrence Stroll had placed a high-stakes bet on his son's future. But as the pressure mounted and expectations grew, the question remained: would this gamble ultimately pay off, or was this just the beginning of an even bigger risk? The answer, as we'll see, is far from clear. After Lance's rookie season, Lawrence Stroll took his investment to the next level by purchasing Force India and rebranding it as Aston Martin, a move that left the paddock buzzing. Now, it wasn't just about keeping Lance in F1, it was about building a dynasty. But here's where things get even more interesting. Was this purchase about the team, or was it really about Lance? To give Lance the best shot at success, Lawrence recruited top-tier talent, including recently Adrian Newey, the engineering mastermind behind multiple championship-winning cars. Aston Martin also invested in a cutting-edge wind tunnel, aiming to position itself as a top contender in F1. But while these moves look good on paper, there's a lingering question. Is all this investment really about building a competitive team, or is it just Lawrence's way of shielding his son from the brutal competition in F1? And now, with whispers of an Aramco buyout swirling, Lawrence faces his biggest decision yet. Should he sell and walk away, securing a massive financial windfall, or hold on, knowing that selling could leave Lance vulnerable in a fiercely competitive F1 landscape? The stakes couldn't be higher, and for the Stroll family, this decision could change everything. Not just for their legacy, but for the future of the team. So what will Lawrence do? Stick around because this story is far from over. Do you think Lawrence Stroll's investment in Aston Martin is all about giving Lance the best shot at success, or is this just a strategic play to boost the team's value ahead of a potential Aramco buyout? And when the moment of truth comes, will Lawrence choose family over fortune? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you're loving this deep dive into F1 drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss the next big story. Of course, no discussion of Lance Stroll's career is complete without hearing what the F1 world thinks. The reactions? Let's just say they're as polarized as it gets. Some drivers acknowledge Lance's occasional strong performances. After all, a podium in F1 is no small feat. But others, like Oscar Piastri, have been more vocal in their criticisms. After the 2024 Italian Grand Prix, Piastri had this to say. Stroll was driving like he was in his first go-kart race, after losing valuable time behind Lance during a critical part of the race. Is this criticism fair, or does it just fuel the narrative that Lance doesn't belong on the grid? And it's not just the drivers. Fans too have turned Lance into something of a meme. Remember the viral moment when Lance slipped on the paddock stairs, leading to the caption, "Here's Lance crashing even off the track." It's moments like these that keep the debate alive. Is Lance a serious competitor, or is he just riding the coattails of his father's fortune? Even though Lance has scored podiums in Baku and Turkey, the narrative around him remains split. Some believe his occasional strong performances prove his worth, while others think his presence in F1 is more about financial privilege than raw talent. But there's one question no one can ignore. Would Lance have made it to F1 without his father's massive investment? As we bring this deep dive to a close, the question remains, has Lawrence Stroll's gamble on his son paid off, or is this one of the biggest investment risks in Formula One? For Lawrence, this is more than just a financial venture. It's a legacy. Every dollar spent, every decision made has been about securing Lance's future on the world's biggest stage. But with every race where Lance struggles to prove himself, the weight of that gamble grows heavier.